Hello students, this is Shivani Kesri, your English subject teacher. Today we will study a chapter from your English literature book and after that we will do the exercise also. So students, if you have any question regarding this chapter, then do drop it in the comment section. Now let's start the chapter through the animation video.
Chapter 7 The Magic Word. There were once 3 children called Joe, Bessie, and Fanny. All their lives they had lived in a town, but now their father had a job in the country. So they were all to move as soon as they could,
What fun to be in the country!
said Joe.
I shall learn all about animals and birds.
And I shall pick as many flowers as I want to,
Said Bessie.
and I shall have a garden of my own,
Said Fanny. When the day came for the move, all the children were excited. A small van came to their door, and 2 men helped their father and mother to pile everything into it. When it was full, the van drove away, and the children put their coats and hats to go with their father and mother to catch a train at the station. The train whistled and chuffed out of the station. The children pressed their noses to the window and watched the dirty houses and the tall chimneys race by. How lovely it would be to be in the green country, with flowers growing everywhere and birds singing in the hedges. They arrived at last at the tiny station where they were to get out. There was no bus to take them, so the tired children dragged their feet along, wishing for a cup of milk and a cozy bed. At last they got there, and dear me, it was worth all the walk, for the cottage was sweet. Roses hung from the walls, red and white and pink, and honeysuckle was all around the front door. It was lovely. They were so tired that they could do nothing but drink hot milk, eat a few biscuits, and tumble into their roughly made beds. Joe looked out of the window, but he was too sleepy to see properly. In 1 minute, the 2 girls in their small room were asleep, and Joe too, in his even tinier room. What fun it was to wake up in the morning and see the sun shining in at strange windows! Mother cooked eggs for them, and they ate their breakfast hungrily. That day, everyone helped to get the little house straight and tidy. Father was going to work the next day. Mother hoped there would be someone to give her washing to do. Then she would make enough money to buy a few hens. That would be lovely,
Let's go out and see what the country roundabout is like.
said Joe.
Can you spare us for an hour, Mother?
Yes, run along, said Mother. So off the 3 children went out of the tiny white front gate and into the lane. They explored all round about. They ran across a field full of bees. They paddled in a small brown stream that chattered away to itself under the willow trees in the sunshine. And then they suddenly came to the wood. It was not far from their cottage at the back. It looked quite an ordinary wood, except that the trees were a darker green than usual. A narrow ditch separated the wood from the overgrown lane,
It's rather a mysterious sort of wood.
said Joe thoughtfully.
don't you think so, Bessie? Well, the trees are rather thick, but they seem about the same as any others.
Said Bessie.
They don't quite.
Said Fanny.
The noise the leaves make is different. Listen,
They listened, and Fanny was right.
it's almost as if they were really talking to one another,
Said Bessie.
whispering secrets, real secrets that we just can't understand. It's a magic word.
Said Fanny suddenly. Wisha, 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 said the trees in the wood, and bent towards one another in a friendly way.
There might be fairy folk in there.
Said Bessie.
Shall we jump over the ditch and go in?
No,
Said Joe.
we might get lost. Let's find our way around before we go into big woods like this.
Joe, Bessie, Fanny! Suddenly came their mother's voice from the cottage not far off. Tea time, tea time! The children felt hungry all at once. They forgot the queer wood and ran back to their new home. Mother had new bread with strawberry jam for them, and they ate a whole loaf between them.
We have found a lovely wood,
Said Fanny.
It's a queer sort of wood.
Said Joe.
The trees really seem to be talking to one another, Father. That must be the wood I heard about this afternoon.
Said Father. It has a strange name, children,
What is it called?
asked Joe.
It's called the Enchanted Wood.
Said their father.
People don't go there if they can help it. It's funny to hear things like this nowadays, and I don't expect there is really anything very queer about the wood. But just be careful not to go too far into it, in case you get lost.
The children looked in excitement at one another. The Enchanted Wood, what a lovely name! And each child secretly thought the same thought. I shall go and explore the Enchanted Wood as soon as I ever can.
Students, this is an exercise of this chapter. If you want, you can pause the video and do it. Thank you, students.